Hello, Professor Michael Yimbel. My name is Lee Haydin, and my student number is 7767031. And for the final test and the take-home test, I have picked up the option about how to deploy the IPFire for my VSV client account. Uh, from the overview and the instruction of the the final test, the take-home test, I have creating the account, creating the VM for my setting IP file for my my VSV account client. Uh, from from here, I have setting my VM name for is the DI is in my digits number and the name, and I also have creating the network adapters for more than the network adapter because after this creating the VM, when I configure the the IP file for the green, red, and the orange or blue section, so the network adapter need to have this one to configure. And after creating the VM, I have go to the welcome page for the configuration about the IP file. Have the penguin on file icon, and after selecting the installation about the IP file, we will go into the selecting language for our system, and after that we can continue to start to installation about the IP file. We need to like click the accept this license. This is like the normal licensing when we're using some program. So when we click OK, and we can move to the next step is select the this setup. From here, uh, we can decide for the this for the space. So from here, I have selecting the 60 GB for my VM, and from the VM we can use this space to configure the configuration for the IP file, and move to the next step is selecting the file system. I have selecting the EX14 for the file system for my configuration, and after selecting the file system, we will move to the next step to reboot the system. From this step, we need to take like 3 to 5 minutes to booting our system, and after we reboot the system, we will go into the more configuration. We'll go to the cable. We select the cable we want. They have a different cable mapping, and I have choosing the US. That's in the normal one for the original cable mapping. And after that, I have selecting the time zone. The time zone for our location normally is in here is a Canadian Eastern, and then I have selecting my host name is the same as same as the name of the my first name and last name, and a phone number of the last digits, and the 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 program I want to build is the IP file. And after that we can move to the domain name. So I have selecting the domain is the same is doc is my last name, first name, and for largest number and the dot logo. And from here, I forgot to get the screenshot for the root and the password for the root. So that will be the same at the admin. So we need to have the setting the password and retype the password for the root login. And after the root and after setting the root password to log in, we will need to set the admin a the same step with the password and retype the password the second time. And after configuring the password of the root and the admin, we will go to the network. So in here I was selecting the network for configuration type is the green and red. So in here we can have uh, different selection like I already built up. So from here I log into the root in my from the left side with the password. So from here you can see if we can go to the like typing the setup, we can go to the main setup. So we can go to the network. From the network is we have the network configuration type. We can selecting the different network configuration type. From here for the green and the red, that will be the like the LAN or the for the LAN and the VLAN, and the orange will be like an order section, and for the last one will be the or we have more like orange and blue. We'll have the warm like multiple area. So we can set the different network for the IPFire. For and after selecting the network section, we can need to configure the we need to assign the card for by assigning the card we can selecting the different network for different area for the green and the red. So we need to extend the network menu and select the network uh, for our network adapter. So after selecting the green, we can move to the red one and select the network adapter. And after that, we need to like go to the address setting. From the address setting, we need to select or configure the network for different uh, assign network card. For the green one, I have selecting the IP address is 10.174.87.10, and the second one, after configuring the green one, we can configuring the red one is the same. And after that we can configure the gateway for both uh, uh, network configuration. The gateway will be the same is 10.174.87.1. And after configuring the gateway, we will move to the DHCP server configuration. From here we can selecting the start address, but for me I am not selecting for this one. If you want, you can like selecting the address like 10.1474.87.10, and the end will be like .90 or something. So if another network choosing the server, the DHCP server will automatic give the IP address for the machine. So after this one, we have set up we have finished the setup for the IP file, and after that we will move to the I mean uh, the 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 final section is logged into the root, and with the root and the password we have set before, we can go in directly uh, to the menu of uh, my log screen. So that is the some normal command, so we can check the u name r for the IP file, and the host name I have set the host name, and the IPA is we can see the IP address of the configuration we have set before. If we want to change or config again for the configuration we have set for our IP file, we can type in the command line setup. So we can go to the section menu. So from the section menu we can config or change the configuration we have made it before. So that's it on the step I have uh, uh, step by step to exploit my IP file. So thank you for listening, and bye now.